Chalo. I hope the revision is over. I hope the revision is done. Shall we move to the next point? Shall we move to the next point? Okay, let us move to the next point. Now, next point, what we have to understand is, okay, so let us start with a new point. So again, welcome you all to the CA Inter law class now. So we are on the discharge of instrument. We are done with the discharge of instrument. We are done with the dishonor of the instrument, right? So the today's topic, what we are going to start is dishonor. Dishonor due to non-acceptance we have already done with. It is dishonor due to non-payment. It is dishonor due to non-payment. So it is dishonor due to non-payment. So tell me one thing. Who are those people who can dishonor due to non-payment? Can DROI dishonor the bill due to non-payment? Can DROI dishonor due to non-payment? Yes, a DROI can dishonor due to non-payment. Can DROI in case of need can dishonor due to non-payment? DROI in case of need can dishonor due to non-payment. So dishonor of the bill due to non-payment can take place on the DROI's end. It can also take place on the DROI in case of need. Everyone clear? Okay, third case. Can acceptor for honor can do the dishonor? Can acceptor for honor do the dishonor? Yes, acceptor for honor can also do. Case number 4. Can the maker of promissory note can also do the dishonor? Yes. So who are the 4 parties who can do the dishonor due to non-payment? DROI in case of need, acceptor for honor, and maker of promissory note. So these are the 4 cases under which the bill or the promissory note may get dishonored due to non-payment. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear or not? Okay, tell me. Cases under which presentment for payment is excused. If you remember all cases under which presentment for payment is excused, I am not talking about presentment for acceptance is excused. I am saying presentment for payment is excused. I hope all of you remember this case. All of you remember this case? Tell me. Case number 1. When DROI is not traceable. When DROI is not traceable, cannot be found, then in that case you don't have to present the bill for payment. Am I correct? Case number 2. We have already done it earlier, that's why I am moving little bit fast. Case number 2. When the DROI intentionally prevents the presentment for payment. Am I correct or not? When the DROI intentionally prevents the presentment for payment. Do you remember this? Intentionally, he came to my house. Do you remember this? He came to my house and punctured my 2 tires of bike and 4 tires of my car so that I could not come to him. Do you remember? Intentionally he prevented or not? Right? Third case. When during business day and during business hours. Do you remember that point? During business day and during business hours, he shuts down his place of business. Now it was a business day. Am I correct or not? It was a business day. It was a business hour, but he still shut down the business or not? So is his intention clear or not? He does not want me to make payment, so I need not go to his place for the presentment for payment. I am excused. Bill is dishonored. Am I correct? And point number 4. When on specified place neither he comes, neither Droy comes, or do you remember that? Neither Droy comes or nor his legal representative came or agent came. Am I correct or not? Neither he came nor his agent came. In that case also what will happen? In that case also presentment for the payment is excused. I hope everyone is clear, refreshed with this topic as well. Everyone is refreshed with this topic again. Okay. Now, main thing. Now we have to understand rules relating to notice of dishonor. What is the topic? Rules relating to notice of dishonor. What are the rules relating to the notice of dishonor? First of all, rule number 1, by whom? And rule number 2, to whom? Remember one thing, notice of dishonor will be given by whom? Tell me. Notice of dishonor will be given by whom? It will be given by the holder or holder in due course. Is it correct or not? Notice of dishonor will be given by the holder or holder in due course to any party liable on the instrument. To any party liable on the instrument. Everyone clear? To any party liable on the instrument. Whether E will give the notice to D, D will give it to the C, C will give it to the A or not. All the parties are liable on the instrument? Yes. So notice of dishonor will be given by whom? Holder or holder in due course to any party liable on the instrument. And suppose if the parties are not present at home, can we deliver it to the authorized agent? If the parties are not available at home, can we give it to the authorized agent? Yes. To the authorized agent of above parties. To the authorized agent of above parties. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear? So we can give the instrument, we can give the notice by whom? Holder, holder in due course to any party liable on an instrument or to the authorized agent of above parties. Am I correct? Now, to whom the notice has to be given? That is by whom? Sorry. The first one is, wait. Let us understand it in a, okay, I mixed it with the by whom and to whom. Now, let us do it again. Please, let us do it again. By whom? The party liable on instrument. It can be given by whom? By the holder or the holder in due course. Now, tell me one thing. If the main party is not available in the city, can his agent also give the notice of dishonor to the other parties or not? Yes or not? By an authorized agent. By an authorized agent. Am I correct or not? So this is a correct way. I'm sorry, that was a little bit confusion between by whom and to whom. So what is the point number 1? By whom? Party liable on the instrument. By whom? Holder or holder in due course. And also their agent can also give the notice. Their agent can also give the notice. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear or not? Now tell me, to whom? To whom? Notice can be given to the party liable on instrument. Notice of dishonor can be given to the party liable on the instrument. Can we give the notice to the agent also? Yes. To the agent of party liable. To the agent of party liable. Tell me one thing. If the person is dead, in case of death of a liable party, to whom we are going to give the notice? In case of death of a liable party, to whom we are going to give the notice? Legal representative. In case of death, we will give the notice to the legal representative. In case of insolvency, In case of insolvency of the party, we'll give the notice to the official receiver. We will give the notice to the official receiver. And in case of insanity, we'll give the notice to the official assignee. Everyone clear or not? So in case the party is dead, to whom we have to give the notice, we'll give it to the legal representative. And in case of insanity and insolvency, to the official receiver and official assignee. Everyone clear? So notice of dishonor by whom to be given and notice of dishonor to whom to be given. So by whom, to whom. Am I correct or no? I will give the notice to you. Am I correct? Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Okay. Next one. Point number 3. Mode of notice of dishonor. What is the mode of notice of dishonor? The mode of dishonor can be oral or in writing. Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Notice of dishonor can be oral also or it can be in writing also. Am I correct or not? Notice of dishonor can be in oral or in writing. Either you send a legal notice of dishonor to the party or you can call that party and tell them that, sir, your bill got dishonored. Either of the two way, the other party should know, either orally or by written. Am I correct? So mode of notice of dishonor is either oral or in writing. Next one. Is there any format of notice? Whether is there any format of notice? Answer is no. Only understandable language is enough. Now understand, is there any proper format? Is there any performa for sending a notice? Answer is no. Only make sure that notice is in such a way that other party can understand. Simple language notice is more than enough. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Okay. Point number 5. Contents. Tell me, what shall be written in the notice? Time, date, place, reason, facts of dishonor. In the notice, what will be written? क्या लिखा होगा नोटिस में? बताओ मेरे को, जल्दी से बताओ. What will be written in the notice? क्या लिखा होगा नोटिस में? सर, टाइम ऑफ डिसऑनर लिखा होगा, डेट ऑफ डिसऑनर लिखा होगा, प्लेस ऑफ डिसऑनर लिखा होगा, रीजन ऑफ डिसऑनर and facts of dishonor. All those things, yes, all those things will be written in the notice. All those things will be written in the notice. What is Sai Adarsh? What you are asking? Can you please elaborate? Sai Adarsh. Sai Adarsh, can you please elaborate? Okay, yeah. Party liable. Yes. Correct. So time, date, place, reason, facts of dishonor, and obviously the party liable will also be written. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear with the topic? So what we understood, notice by whom, notice to whom, what is the mode of notice of dishonor, what is the format of notice, what are the contents of notice. Next point, very important topic, service of notice. Service of notice. Now, how do we have to send the notice? How do we have to serve the notice? Either by hand delivery. You can give the notice either by hand delivery or via post. Either by hand delivery or via post. Are you getting the point? या तो तुम personally जाके notice दे सकते हो. Either you can give the notice by the hand delivery or you can send it via post. But remember one thing, if it is a post, suppose it is lost in transit. Suppose you have sent a post and it is lost in transit, then party is not liable. I have sent the post, my responsibility is over. What if the post is lost in transit? Am I still liable? Tell me, what if the post is lost in transit? Am I still liable? No, I'm not liable. My responsibility was to send the post. Now, is it my fault that the post is lost? Or is it the courier company's fault? It is a courier company's fault. It is not my fault. So, I will not be liable. So, remember, if it is lost in transit, party sending the notice is liable or not liable? Is not liable. Everyone clear? Everyone clear with the topic? Okay, point number 7. Point number 7, ये बहुत important topic है. Try to understand this topic. Point number 7 is very important. Time within which notice to be given and place. Very important rule. Time within which the notice to be given and place. अब सुनो ध्यान से. Now, listen to this case. Place rule we already know. Tell me one thing. Notice should be given at which place? Place of business. Notice of dishonor shall be sent at which place? Place of business. Tell me, if the place of business is not there, then? If the place of business is not there, filling the blanks. If the place of business is not there, then place of residence. Are you getting the point? If the place of business is not there, then the place of residence. Do you remember this? We have already done in acceptance also. We have already done that in acceptance also, right? Okay. Next point. What is the time? अब सुनना ध्यान से. Listen to the point carefully. There are two things you have to understand here. If the parties are resident of same place or city, are you getting the point? अगर आप same city या same place में रहते हो, and if your place of party is resident or place of business, या तो उनका resident or place of business is in the same city or same place, then notice of dishonor shall reach the party by maximum 1 day from day of dishonor. Are you able to understand the rule? If the parties are staying in the same city, if their place of business is in the same city, then we cannot delay the notice of dishonor by more than 1 day. So today dishonor has taken place. By tomorrow, the party must receive the notice from you. Party must have received the notice from you. If the day of dishonor is today, by tomorrow, party must receive the notice of dishonor from you. Everyone clear? Now, if the party's place of business is in different cities, if it is in different cities, then rule is notice of dishonor must be sent by the party, must be sent to the party by maximum 1 day from day of dishonor. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between the earlier rule and this rule? Please tell me what is the difference between earlier rule and this rule. What is the difference between this rule and this rule? In the both cases, it is maximum 1 day. Yeah, in the same place, in the different place, that I know, Adarsh. What I am asking is, what is the difference in the language? Are you able to see the difference in the language of two sentences? Anybody can tell me what is the major difference you found? No. Shall and must, that is also fine. Both are same things only. Now here, The notice must reach the party. See the point? Here the notice must reach the party. Yes, very well, Janvi. Very well, Janvi Anbati. Very nice. And here the notice must be sent to the party. It means reach the party means what? Defaulting party must receive the notice by the maximum 1 day extra from the day of dishonor. And on the other side, we have to send the notice by maximum 1 day. Either received after 4-5 days, that is not the concern. Sending is more important if you are staying in the different cities. Here, reaching is more important if you are staying in the same city. Are you getting the point or not? If we both the parties are staying in the same city. Now, say for example, A has to send the notice to the B. A has to send the notice to the B. Now, B and A are in the same city. And B and A are in the different city. Can you tell me what is the rule? If you people are staying in the same city, what is the rule? Then reaching to B by maximum 1 day after dishonor. Is it correct? Is it correct? Now, if you are staying in a different cities, tell me, if you are staying in a different cities, sending to B by maximum 1 day after dishonor. Everyone clear or not? So, in the same city, reaching is the more important concept. And in the different cities, sending is a more important concept. Everyone clear? Say yes, super clear. Dekho, this is what the major, this is called interpretation of law. Minor differences are there and you have to understand them in a very perfect way. Shall we move to the next topic now? Okay. How many rules we are done with? 8 rules. Failure to give notice of dishonor. Tell me what will happen if there is a failure to give notice of dishonor. Do you all know? Failure to give the notice of dishonor. Instrument will be discharged or parties will be discharged? Very well said. Lipika Joyce. Yes. Discharge will take place, but discharge of instrument or parties? Yes, discharge of parties. Parties will be discharged. I hope everyone is crystal clear with the rules of this thing. Everyone clear with the rules? Nice. Clear? Right? Now, there is one question which they may ask you in the examination. Circumstances under which notice of dishonor is need not be given. Notice of dishonor need not be given. First let me write, then we'll understand. Okay? Circumstances under which notice of dishonor need not be given. Right? And circumstances under which notice of dishonor is excused. Circumstances under which notice of dishonor need not be given and circumstances under which notice of dishonor is excused. What do you mean by both the topics? Can anybody explain me the meaning of both the topics? In the left side topic, what we are trying to tell? In the left side topic, what we are trying to tell? What are those parties? In the left side, we are trying to tell parties to whom notice shall be given or need not be given. Is it correct or not? Parties to whom notice need not be given. Tell me one thing. Now I am writing and you are going to give me the answer. Point number 1. Do we need to give the notice to the maker of promissory note? Think logically. Do we need to give the notice of dishonor to the maker of promissory note? Very logical answer. Sir, maker of promissory note only has dishonored. Who has dishonored? Are you understanding the logic? Who has dishonored the promissory note? Who has dishonored the promissory note? Maker. So do we have to give the notice of dishonor to the promissory note? He is the one only who has dishonored. So there is no requirement of giving the notice. Everyone clear or not? To the maker of promissory note. Now tell me, what is the point number 2? Logically, please tell me. Do we give the notice to? Point number 2, tell me. Do we give the notice of dishonor to the drawee of bill of exchange? Do we need to give the notice of dishonor to the drawee of bill of exchange? He only dishonored, na? Drawee of bill of exchange. Are you understanding the topic and its answer? Are you understanding the topic and its answer? Yes, we need not give the notice of dishonor to the maker of promissory note. And we need not give the notice of dishonor to whom? We need not give the notice of dishonor to the drawee of bill of exchange. Third point. To the bank. In case of check. Do we give the notice of dishonor to the bank in case of check? Tell me one thing. Who dishonored? Bank only dishonored, na? Bank only dishonored. Am I correct or not? So do we have to give the notice of dishonor to the bank? Answer is no. So who are the 3 parties to whom the notice of dishonor need not be given? It need not be given to the maker of promissory note. It need not be given to the drawee of bill of exchange. It need not be given to the banker. In case of what? Check. Everyone clear? I want a reply from everyone. Everyone super clear? Sir, topic का meaning समझ में आया sir? Super clear? Okay, great, nice. सबको clear हो गया topic? Done. So notice of dishonor need not be given to these parties. Now, look at the other side. On the other side, on the right side, I am not saying notice of dishonor need not be giving. I am saying notice of dishonor is excused. Notice of dishonor is excused. Yes, very well said, Karthik Reddy. Very well said. Point number 1. In case of facultative endorsement. Tell me one thing. In case of facultative endorsement, when I waive off my notice of dishonor right, do you still have to give me the notice of dishonor or you are excused? In the facultative endorsement, do you remember what do you mean by facultative endorsement? Either I may decrease my rights or I may increase my liabilities. Do you remember that? I may increase my liabilities, I may decrease my rights. So in that case, I wrote, pay to the C, notice of dishonor is waived. Did I waive my right of getting the notice of dishonor or not? Now you are C. Do you have to give me the notice of dishonor or you are excused? You have to give me the notice of dishonor or you are excused? Excused. Everyone clear with the point number 1? In case of facultative endorsement, notice of dishonor is excused. Don't write notice of dishonor need not be given. Need not be given is a separate topic. Need not be given में promissory note maker, bill of exchange drawee and banker will come. Excused case में what will come? First point, facultative endorsement. Yes, excuse is separate. I hope everyone is crystal clear with what are the understanding I am giving you. First one, facultative endorsement. Second one, when the instrument is ambiguous instrument. Instrument is a which instrument? Ambiguous instrument. Anybody can tell me what do you mean by ambiguous instrument? No, it's not fake. Wrong. Yes, ambiguous instrument means faulty drafting. If you remember, faulty drafting. If the instrument is ambiguous instrument, notice of dishonor. Now, listen to this. Promissory note. I promise to pay 10 lakhs to myself after 90 days. Rohit Grover promises to pay 10 lakhs to Rohit Grover after 90 days. Is there any problem in this promissory note? Drafting is correct or wrong? Drafting is wrong. So do I have to give the notice to myself? नो, ambiguous instrument के टाइम पे notice is not required. Are you understanding the point? The notice is not required in case of ambiguous instrument also. You are excused from giving the notice. Point number 3. Party can be found or party cannot be found. The party to whom I have to give the notice of dishonor can be found or cannot be found. Party cannot be found. Now when the party cannot be found, notice of dishonor to be given or not to be given? Not to be given. Notice of dishonor not to be given. Everyone clear? Notice of dishonor not to be given. Next one. Notice was not given without any fault. Notice was not given without any fault. I sent the courier. Courier lost my notice in between. Is it my fault or courier fault? Is it my fault or courier fault? Courier fault. So when it is a courier fault, then why should I be punished? So notice was not given without any my default. Everyone clear or not? Without giving my default. I hope everyone is getting the point. Next point. In case of such promissory note which are not negotiable, tell me one thing. Do you remember restrictive endorsement? What do you mean by restrictive endorsement? Can we further negotiate or cannot negotiate? Now, think logically. A sold the goods to the B. Now tell me, who will draw the promissory note? Not bill of exchange, I am talking about promissory note. Who will draw the promissory note? B will draw the promissory note to A or not? I promise to pay you the money after 90 days. Say for example, now A has not negotiated. To anyone. It is still with A only. Who dishonored? B. Who dishonored? B. Is there any other party to whom the notice of dishonor to be given? Or excused? Excused. Am I correct or not? So that is why in case of such promissory notes which are not negotiable, then also the notice of dishonor need not be given. It means you are excused in that case. Are you getting the point? Let us see the point number 6. What is point number 6? When the party promises to pay unconditionally. What do you mean by party promises to pay unconditionally? Quickly, I need an answer. What do you mean by party promises to pay unconditionally? What do you mean by that? Party promises to pay unconditionally means what? Do we need to give them the notice of dishonor then? He's saying whether you give the notice of dishonor or you don't give the notice of dishonor, I will pay you. Bindas. Do we have to give the notice of dishonor or need not be given? Need not be given, so I am excused in this case also. Everyone crystal clear with the topic? Don't confuse with need not be given and excused. Excused points are different. Need not be given points are different. Everyone clear or not? Okay, great. Point number 7. अच्छा ये बताना. When the drawer of the check, I am seeing your comments. Give me the comments. Are you able to listen to me? Yes. When the drawer of the check given instructions to bank for dishonor. Tell me one thing. When the drawer of the check only has given the instructions to the bank for dishonor and banker has dishonored, whether the banker has to give the notice of dishonor to me? I only told to the banker, please dishonor my check. Whether the banker has to give me the notice of dishonor? No, I am excused. Am I correct or not? Everyone clear? So tell me, is this topic went inside your head or not? Is this topic inside your head or not? Yes, sir, it is inside our head. So tell me, under what circumstances notice need not be given? Tell me the three cases. Under what circumstances notice need not be given? Tell me the three cases. Maker of the promissory note, to the drawee of the bill of exchange, and to the banker in case of check. Am I correct? Tell me the 7 cases under which notice of dishonor is excused. Sir, facultative endorsement, ambiguous instrument, party cannot be found, notice was not sent due without any my default. Right or not? In such cases where the promissory note is not negotiable, I only have given the instructions to the banker to countermand the instructions to dishonor my check. And when the party promises to pay you unconditionally, in all these 7 cases, the notice of dishonor is excused. Everyone clear or not? In all these 7 cases, notice of dishonor is excused. Everyone clear? Super clear? Very nice, very nice, very nice. So today what we have understood? We understood dishonor due to non-payment, cases under which the presentment for payment is excused, rules relating to notice of dishonor, and we also understood the under what circumstances notice of dishonor need not be given and notice of dishonor is excused. Are we done with that? Are we done with that? Right or not? Yeah, I'm seeing your comments. Tell me, are we done with that? Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now, did I tell you negotiation back topic? Please tell me. Did I tell you negotiation topic? Negotiation back, right? Okay. Chalo. Let us understand the next topic now. We are doing the dishonor, so let us finish off the dishonor completely. Then we'll be left with only 2 topics. One is called material alteration and one is called banker customer relationship. Everyone clear? So maybe in the next 2 classes your negotiable instrument act will also be completed from my side. I hope every one of you understood the each and every provision. We need another 2 sessions of 1.5 hour each, and we'll be done with the negotiable instrument act. And we are already done with the Indian Contract Act, right or not? Then after that we may start with the company law. We will start with the company law. Everyone clear? So by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, our negotiable instrument act will be completely over. So let us understand the next topic. What is the next topic? Penalties for dishonor. What is the name of the topic? Penalties for dishonor. Under section 138 to section number 142. Penalties for dishonor under section 138 to section number 142. Are you getting the point? Now remember one thing. Now penalties for dishonor of check. This is not for bill of exchange and promissory note. This is the penalties for the dishonor of what? Checks only. Are you getting the point? Penalty for the dishonor of the check. When the check is getting dishonored, then in that case section number 138 to 142 tells you some penalties. That penalties we have to learn. Shall we start? Point number 1. When penalty can be imposed. Remember one thing. If the check is dishonored, if the check is dishonored in the bank due to insufficiency of funds, due to insufficiency of funds. Remember one thing, there is only one reason in the Negotiable Instrument Act under which you can be penalized in this act. Can you tell me what is that reason? There is only one reason under the Negotiable Instrument Act where you can be penalized, that your check is dishonored due to non-matching of signature or insufficiency of the funds. What is the reason? Insufficiency of the funds. अगर आपके अकाउंट में पैसे नहीं हैं, आपने चेक इशू कर दिया और वो चेक डिसऑनर हो गया ड्यू टू इनसफिशिएंसी ऑफ द फंड्स, देन ओनली पेनल्टी इज देयर. रिमेंबर, पेनल्टी इज नॉट ऑन नॉन मैचिंग. Penalty is not on non-matching of signature. Penalty is not on what do you say, date or any kind of other problem. Penalty is only in case of what? Insufficiency of the funds. Remember one thing, insufficiency of the fund is the most important thing. Everyone clear or not? Right? Second case, penalty in case of dishonor due to insufficiency of the funds. Point number 1 is over. Point number 2, sir, what is a penalty? Sir, what is a penalty? Penalty is up to 2 times the amount of check. Up to 2 times the amount of check. Whatever the check you have drafted, 2 times of the amount of check, or imprisonment up to, sorry, not or, it is and imprisonment. Imprisonment means jail. Imprisonment or jail up to 2 years. So first of all, you have to pay 2 times the liability of the amount of the check, and your fine is 2 times the amount of check, and your jail also will be 2 years. Everyone clear? And it is not or, it is and. It is not or, it is and. Everyone clear or not? Yes sir, we are clear, right? So 2 times the amount of check and imprisonment or jail up to 2 years. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Remember again, there is no other reason. There is no other reason, only one reason. What can be the reason? The reason can be what? Insufficiency of the funds. Reason can be insufficiency of the funds. Now, next point. What is the reasonable time for depositing a check? Reasonable time for depositing a check. What is the reasonable time for depositing a check? Tell me. In how many days we need to deposit a check? Everyone, please tell me. 90 days. Very nice. In 90 days, we should make sure that our check is deposited with the bank. Otherwise, it will become a stale check. It will become a stale check. Everyone clear or not? It will become a stale check. Everyone clear? Yes, it will become a stale check. Point number 4. Now, dishonor has taken place. Within how many days you have to give the notice of dishonor? So, time period within which the notice of dishonor to be given. Time period within which the notice of dishonor to be given to party. Now that time period is within 30 days. Within 30 days from intimation received from the bank. Received from bank. Now listen to this. Murli sir gave me a check. Listen to this. Murli sir gave me a check and that check got dishonored. Murli sir gave me a check and that check got what? Dishonored. Now today I received the intimation from the bank that the check is dishonored. I received the intimation today that the check is dishonored. Now in the next 30 days, it is my responsibility to intimate the Murli sir that the check has been dishonored. Everyone clear or not? Yes, bouncing of the check. It is same thing, dishonor or bouncing of the check. Are you getting the point? So within 30 days from the intimation received from the bank, I have to intimate to the Murli sir that the check has been what? Dishonored. Everyone clear? Everyone clear? Point number 5. Point number 5. Now, to the Murli sir, do I have to give a second chance to the Murli sir to make me the payment again? Do I have to give the second chance to the Murli sir to make me the payment again? Yes. Time period allowed for another attempt of payment. Time period allowed for the another attempt of payment, 15 days. How many more days I can give to the Murli sir to give me the new check? How many more days I can give to the Murli sir to give me the new check? 15 days. So I have to give the 15 days to Murli sir again to give me the new check. Am I correct or not? Point number 6. Point number 6. If no repayment was made, if no payment was made, time period for suing the party. Now tell me one thing, 15 days are over. Murli sir has not made me the another payment of check. This is just an example. Murli sir has not paid me the another check. Now what should I do? Should I sue Murli sir now or not? Yes. 30 days from the end of 15 days. Once the 15 days are over, in the next 30 days, I can file a case against the Murli sir. Everyone clear or not? I hope everyone is clear. So tell me one thing. What is the time period for depositing a check? What is the time period for depositing a check? 90 days. I deposited the check. Check got dishonored. Due to which reason? Check got dishonored. Due to which reason? Signature not matching or insufficiency? Insufficiency of the funds. Now, directly I will put an action or first notice of dishonor? Direct action or first notice of dishonor? Notice of dishonor within how many days? 30 days. Notice of dishonor within how many days? 30 days. Do I have to give a second chance? Everyone, please quickly. Do I have to give a second chance? Yes. Sir, second chance, how many days? 15 days. Second chance, 15 days. Sir, 15 days are over. No second payment came. Should I sue? No second payment came. Should I sue the party? Yes or not? Within how many days? In the next 30 days. I have to sue the party in the next 30 days. After 15 days. Am I correct or not? Now, who can entertain this suit? If I am filing the case, where I need to file the case? If I am filing the case, where I need to file the case? I can file the case to the Metropolitan Magistrate. I can file the case to the Metropolitan Magistrate. I can file the case to the Metropolitan Magistrate or Judicial Magistrate or Judicial Magistrate of the first class. I can file the case to the Metropolitan Magistrate or Judicial Magistrate for the first class. Everyone clear or not? Everyone clear or not? So we will keep our class short up to this time only. So we are done with all the parts relating to dishonor. We are left with the two topics. One is known as material alteration, and we are left with another topic that is known as what? Banker and customer relationship. So that will continue in the tomorrow and day after tomorrow's class, right? So thank you so much for coming to the class. Thanks for lending your patient ears. I'll borrow it again tomorrow. Am I correct? Am I clear? See you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.